Hey guys, I'm Roland the Techusiast, and today we're going to find out if the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge is still worth buying in 2018. Stay tuned. So, I've upgraded my sister to the Galaxy S9 and got this nearly brand new S7 Edge off her. I've used this S7 Edge as my secondary device in the past 3 weeks, so I'm fairly certain that my experience with it is solid and it will reflect a real life use scenario. This video is clearly to highlight how the device has aged in its 2 years of life cycle and to give you a good idea if it's still worth getting this in 2018, now that the Galaxy S9 has been out for over 2 months. If you like my reviews and the content I provide, please help me out by subscribing to my channel, and all that said, let's jump to the review. I hope you enjoy. So, as you all know by now, the design is beautiful, but you can clearly tell the design has aged very noticeably. With the top and bottom chins, you can tell that this phone is a couple years old, but needless to say, it's still a great looking phone to say the least. Both the display and the rear panel has a curved glass design, making the overall look stylish and comfortable, and are very similar looking to the Galaxy S8 and S9 series. There isn't too much to brag about. It has an IP67 certificate against water and dust. The curved display feels comfortable in the hand, even if it's not my favourite to use on a daily basis. It's very nice and comfortable to hold. The palm projection works surprisingly well too, which was one of my main worries. The hardware packs a lot of power, even by today's standards. I do not want to get too much into the specifications, as you should very well know this by now, but for those who forget, here are some details. It has a 5.5-inch QHD curved display. It uses Samsung's own Exynos 8890 chipset with 4GB of RAM. It has 32GB of internal storage with an expandable microSD card slot. The OS is upgradable to Android 8.0 Oreo, although I am yet to receive it here in the UK. It has NFC, Bluetooth 4.2, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and of course a good old micro USB port on the bottom. During my usage, I did experience a few hiccups here and there, but overall it was smooth and very usable. I was able to play a few graphics intensive games and then jump out, navigate and use my favourite applications such as Twitter or YouTube. Multitasking or using multiple applications at once has worked surprisingly well, making this a perfect device for those who require to use 3 or more applications simultaneously. Surprisingly, I had a couple issues with the fingerprint placement. I'm not sure if it was because I wasn't used to its placement or attempt to press it too lightly or incorrectly, but sometimes unlocking the device would take multiple attempts or would be just overall very slow, compared to today's flagships. It's worth mentioning that when it was done correctly, unlocking the device was fast and very smooth. The display is vivid and the color saturation is extreme, at least to my likings. Luckily there's an option in the settings to change the color saturation to your likings, but I found that even the basic option hurts my eyes and causes eye strain. Viewing angles and the overall experience is amazing, so other than the colors, which is personal preference of course, I personally can't complain much. Most of you will likely love it due to its saturated colors and sharp display. Watching movies and playing games is a joy on the Galaxy S7, but for everyday use, I personally wouldn't recommend it due to its curved bezels. I feel like the curved bezels was much improved on the Galaxy S8 and on the S9, and the S7 was still only just an experiment for Samsung at the time. Using the curved edges on the other side still doesn't provide any benefits other than better aesthetics and a very few features that only a few will take advantage of. One thing that surprised me about the performance is the fact that sometimes scrolling would become sluggish and it wouldn't be as fluid and smooth as on other devices. But I was shocked by the fact that a 2 years old Samsung Galaxy flagship would run so smoothly without any major issues. The last time I've used a Samsung flagship it was an S4, and oh boy, you really don't want me to start telling you all of my stories. It would be a long and a very interesting video. I'm happy to see that Samsung has kept its promises and implemented new techniques to change the way they operate and maintain their services and older devices. This S7 even has the April security patch and is due to receive Android 8.0 Oreo. Sure, it will not receive any more updates, but even after the Oreo update, it should stay a pretty strong and a solid device for those who do not want the latest stuff, but something that gets the job done and allows you to complete all of your tasks. The battery is large at 3600 mAh, which in theory should provide an outstanding performance, and it does. I've noticed that with my general usage, it could survive a full day, though power users might find themselves looking for a charger to go through a full day. The battery is large at 3600 mAh, which in theory should provide an outstanding performance, and it does. I've noticed that with my general usage, it could survive a full day, though power users might find themselves looking for a charger to go through a full day. Using apps like Twitter, YouTube, and a few games here and there, and surfing the internet, I was comfortably using the phone for a full day without any issues. The software part is where this gets interesting. I personally like Samsung's own custom user interface, but if I have to pick, I'll always go for stock Android for a simple and clean user interface. Using Samsung's theme engine, you can luckily customize the S7 to your likings and make it look like a stock Android device, or sort of like it. I've downloaded the Pixel theme and installed Nova Launcher and never looked back. With its simplistic and clean looks, this is the winner for me, but thanks to Android, you can pretty much customize your device the way you like it, even without root nowadays, giving you more choice and opportunity to have your own design that suits you the most. The built-in bloatware was disabled and hidden on day one I got the device. I'm sad to see Samsung still loading their devices with a lot of bloat and not allowing us, the users, to completely uninstall them. Unfortunately, you can't do much about it. If you start to run out of space, at least you can easily pop in an SD card and enjoy your new high storage at low prices nowadays. The S7 Edge comes with a 12 megapixel rear camera with f1.7 aperture and OIS, as well as a 5 megapixel selfie shooter. Comparing the camera to the Galaxy S9, the S9 is clearly the newer and better device, but in my opinion the S7 Edge is still a very capable one. The S7 Edge has less vivid colors, it's less smooth and has more soft edges, but overall is still great. While it might not be as sharp as the new S9, it's worth mentioning that it's more than enough to capture moments and take your selfies and other moments on the go and upload them straight to Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. The OIS optimization is understandably much better on the S9, but the S7 is still pretty good considering its age. Where the camera doesn't shine too well is in low light situations. The S7 will struggle to focus at times and will produce a lot of noise and soft edges on images, but it's not that bad. It will definitely allow you to capture moments, especially if you're willing to use the Pro mode and perhaps a tripod. I'll let you judge the still and the video footage as you will, but in my opinion, the S7 Edge proves itself a worthy device at its price point and functionalities. So, who's this for? Well, it's not that hard to tell. It's for those who want to save money and don't expect or want to see the latest gimmick and maybe a few useful features on their devices. It's for those who want to save money but still get the job done on a solid device that still runs fine, even if the battery and the performance may not be up to the latest standards, but still accomplishes everything beautifully. The S7 Edge performs great under load, but you should expect a few slowdowns here and there. Multitasking is still good and is better than even on some mid-range devices thanks to its powerful Exynos 8890 chipset. The camera and the battery are both great and it can definitely capture your moments and run you for a full day without the need of a charger. For average and moderate users, this will be a great choice, though gamers and power users might need a little juice for a full day of use. If you have a bit more money, I'd recommend to go for the Galaxy S8 or other 2017 flagship devices, but if you only need something that allows you to keep you up to date without spending much, stay with the Galaxy S7 Edge. If you want the latest software, the S7 is definitely not for you, as it will likely not receive any more major updates from Samsung, maybe not even security patches. I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it and found it helpful, please leave a like on this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out my website Techusiast.com, where we share a lot of important and interesting stuff. Also, let me know your thoughts about the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge down below in the comments. And all that said, thank you for watching, I'll see you next time.